Can I just say that I love talking about pricing strategy? And if you've subscribed to OfficerBilling.com, hopefully you've started to understand how powerful a pricing tool OfficerBilling.com is. But if you haven't discovered OfficerBilling.com yet, just pause the video and go sign up for a 14-day free trial. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm going to take a couple of minutes and let you in on one of my little secrets for winning security guard bids. Shh. Welcome to Strategy Saturdays, the only free online video series that teaches security guard companies the strategies behind pricing bids and winning security guard contracts. Today, let's talk a little bit about competitive analysis, better known as knowing what your competition's billing rate is going to be. I think competitive analysis actually starts with understanding your own billing methodology and strategy. After having some time to play around with OfficerBilling.com, you should have started to understand that there are actually very few things that change from proposal to proposal or bid to bid. The things that change that most influence your billing rate are wage rate, to some degree your direct expenses, and your profit margin. Newsflash, if that's true for you, then it's also true for your competitors. So what does that mean to you? And why should you care? The reason that you should care is that if you get an understanding of those pieces of your competitor's pricing, it actually helps you predict what your competitor's billing rate is going to be. Using this methodology, I was actually many times, not all the time, but many times I was able to predict where my competitors were going to bid and adjust my billing rate accordingly. The methodology is actually pretty simple, and it goes a little something like this. The first thing that you have to do is figure out what wage rate your competitors are going to bid at. So how do you go about doing that? It's probably already something that you're doing, and that's talking to your competitors' officers out on the street. Back when I had my security guard company, I made it my business to introduce myself to every security officer that I saw wearing another company's patch. As part of that conversation with the officer, I was looking for a couple of key pieces of information, namely how much they were being paid and what they liked or disliked about that competitor. Security officers are surprisingly very open about sharing that information. Once you have that information, make sure you record that in your competitive analysis folder. Note the competitor, the type of site, and the wage rate. What you'll notice after doing this a few dozen times for all your competitors is that you'll start to be able to predict what your competitors are paying their officers at different types of client sites. The information that you need next is your competitors' billing rates. Now that information is a little tougher to come by and requires a little more time, but it's totally doable. My primary means of gaining access to that information was attending bid conferences where multiple companies were in attendance. Generally speaking, when you attend bid conferences, it's not uncommon for the buyer to openly share the billing rates for all the competitors at the end of the bidding process. But even when they don't share that information openly, if you give them a call and ask what the other billing rates were, they will most times at least share the winning billing rate with you. Now that you have both an understanding of your competitor's wage rate and billing rate, go into OfficerBilling.com and insert your competitor's wage rate and billing rate into your proposal and adjust the profit margin until you arrive at the billing rate that your competitor used. That profit number becomes the profit number that you will use when trying to figure out what your competitor's billing rate will be the next time you bid against them on similar projects. To be clear, That's not their profit number, it's just the number that you're going to use to forecast their billing rate. Disclaimer: this process is not meant to give you your competitor's exact billing rate, but it will definitely get you in the ballpark. Speaking from experience. Well, I hope that this video made a little sense to you. If not, please feel free to ask questions below. If it did make sense, please subscribe to our channel and like the video. It's the only way I'll know if these videos are providing you any value. So that's it for this week. I'll see you guys for the next video, but in the meantime, stay safe and stay profitable. And we're out of here.